This is Ryan White. I am a student at Kennesaw State in the Educational Specialist for Instructional Technology program, and this is my capstone presentation on FITE Club. Just a little bit about me to begin with. I am currently the Instructional Technology Coordinator for Floyd County Schools in the Department of Instructional Technology. I have 4 instructional technologists that we have divided by grade band. 2 are K-5, 1 is our middle school, and 1 is our high school instructional technologist. I have the oddball schools, which is our college and career academy, our transitional academy, and the county office. I also assist our SIS coordinator and our networking coordinator on a daily basis. And of course, whatever the director of technology wants me to do, the answer is always yes. So here's my team right here. This is our office, which is a converted World War II parachute factory, which is pretty cool. So this is where we get together and we call it the SIG room. SIG is short for the Collective Intelligence Group. And we just found a bunch of rock stars, and you put a bunch of smart people in one place and great things happen, as long as we give them a vision to go with. So this is my team. Before being at Kennesaw State, as you can already see up there and assume because we've already been there, I earned my bachelor's in history education at West Georgia, and then pursued my master's of history education as well at West Georgia. With my teaching experience, I graduated into the recession, which is a hard time to find a teaching job when they're hemorrhaging 200,000 or 300,000 jobs in the private sector a month. But I was fortunate enough to get my first job at a TA in Carrollton City, and then later on at their Carrollton Junior High School, teaching 8th grade English. And in addition to English, I started to teach social studies. And then after 3.5 years in Carrollton, I moved to Floyd County and began to teach at Pepperell Middle School, where I taught social studies and English as well. While I was at both of these systems, I coached wrestling almost every single year. And while I was at Pepperell, I did coach cross country as well. One of the requirements that was in the rubric was one to show you a little bit about some of the presentations that I've done. And I've only been at the central office level for the last 18 months. So I've put a few of the leadership items that I have done since I've been at the central office level, and some of the presentations that we've done. Some of them have been at local ed camps or GATC. There's a one we did at the Georgia DOE Instructional Technology Symposium. I did with Dr. Lee Green, which some of you may know. But I've done a lot of very different types of presentations all over. In Northwest Georgia, we're trying to push an instructional technology curriculum instead of just doing what's hot or what's shiny, because we really need to be that filter for those teachers so they don't get completely overwhelmed. And here's some professional development programs that we've been working on. And the one for my capstone is FITE Club, but we will get to that in a little bit. So our problem need in question in Floyd County Schools was, first one is RICO. We have an experience in Floyd County that's probably unique in that these 10 individuals stole upwards of $4 or $5 million over a 9-year period from the school system. And that money was diverted from technology and taken from technology. It's taken away from the students and teachers as well. The facilities director was funneling money to vendors who was paying him under the table. So that was something that we were having to fight as far as we didn't have enough devices, we didn't have the infrastructure, we didn't have the people, because a lot of those resources were being diverted because these people were stealing money from us. When I first came in, our state of technology was pretty bad. We were 1 to 5 with Chromebooks. We had 800 teachers for 1 instructional technologist. And when we did go to GAETC, people took complete advantage of the situation and of us. So we wanted to end that because people were going that shouldn't have gone, or they weren't showing up. We had varying issues with that. So the question that my director of technology and I sat down and tried to solve was, how can we best serve and support our teachers in this environment? Thus, we came up with FITE Club. So FITE Club, here's the outline for FITE Club. And what we did is it's based off 3 strands. So each month, the members do a different strand. So their first month is Gmail, Drive, Sheets, Docs, and so on and so on. So there is an outline for FITE Club. It's a completely canned content, but we made the can. So we wanted to make sure it was professional learning that was suitable to our teachers. We developed a schedule so they know when assignments were due, which is every month, but also we wanted to have face-to-face meetings, use Google Hangouts for flip meetings. We did GATC last November, and we also did a think tank project this spring, which is where they became the teachers. They became the instructional coaches for technology for one event. So it is a year-long program, but I did a mid-year evaluation. Here are some of the strengths. 100% enjoy the asynchronous training because you do it when they want to. 100% would say, hey, I want to do FITE Club again. 94% found value, and 89% felt very comfortable assisting other teachers with something they learned from FITE Club. Some of our weaknesses were that they wanted to meet more face-to-face, but the issue with that is money and time. There's not enough money to pay travel and for subs for them to meet face-to-face. So that's a struggle that we do have. And the other weakness was 83% wanted more grade band specific assignments, which is a struggle not only to get grade band specific assignments, but also to get it where I have a 3rd grade teacher on one side of the district with an assignment that fits the needs of a 3rd grade teacher on the other side of the district. So that's also a struggle as well. So our description for FITE Club, which stands for Floyd County Instructional Technology Educators. And if you've seen the movie, we're playing, obviously it's a pun off the movie, which was actually a book first if you haven't read it. So when we first started it, we wanted it to first go to meet the principals. The principals are the agents of changes in their school. So we wanted to meet with them. And so we met with them, we told them about FITE Club and what it would be, and they were really, really excited about it. So this is the presentations we showed them back last spring. But we also wanted the program to be application-based because we wanted people to have skin in the game, so they felt like they had earned the right. They weren't just given it. So what is FITE Club? FITE Club, we break things down very simply into 3 things. One is Google Drive, so that's your docs, your sheets, drawings, sharing permissions, all those things. Google Classroom, because we want them to be able to use Classroom with their students to facilitate learning with Chromebooks. And Kahoot, because you need something that's very engaging with students. That's an easy win for teachers. We did attend GAETC. It was a super success. They really enjoyed it. People could not take advantage of GAETC like they did in previous years because the only people that went from our county were the ones that went via this program and our Striving Readers Fund. So we were able to really monopolize who went because we have a history of sending the same people over and over and over and over. The other part of FITE Club was we did a Google Hangout in the fall and the spring. although we can't meet face to face, it's really important for us to be able to see and hear from each other. And the FITE Club participants did a think tank project where they became teachers of other teachers. They found an app, a website, a digital tool they really enjoyed and were successful with, and they shared it with people in their building. And then our FITE Club participants were able to share that with each other via Google Hangouts in a larger group. So it was really awesome to see people from across our districts, from our district, and from 19 different schools coming together in one place and one time online. So we do have a website. This is where we pushed out the application, the information, schedules, stipends, all those things for FITE Club. So they would come in here, the application's been turned off. This is where they would learn more about FITE Club. So during my reflection of FITE Club, I found it's very important to be able to identify that need first. If you don't have an identified need, you're spinning your wheels or you're wasting your time. The other issue we found was the current reality and the future of FITE Club. When we developed FITE Club, it was developed for one instructional technologist for an entire system. The problem is that it's a good problem. Shortly after we developed FITE Club, rolled it out, and got people excited about it, we hired 4 new instructional technologists. And that was because we went through advanced ed, and that was one of the recommendations from advanced ed. And this school year, FITE Club has really bled over a lot into a lot of the work of the instructional technologists. So FITE Club will be dead next year, not because it was not successful, but because we don't want to overlap with the work of the instructional technologists. And the last piece here, I wrote leadership because there have been situations where you are paying teachers stipends and you are sending them places, and some of them don't always make the best decisions. For example, we had a member of FITE Club sign up to go to GATC. However, they never showed up, and that stipend and the registration fee could have been used for a different teacher. So we had to get that feedback from him, and it really opened my eyes as far as how all those procedures are met from the central office level to the school level. And here are the copyright acknowledgments from the pictures that I used. Notice that all the FITE Club logos, those were made in-house. So those are not included. Thank everyone for watching my capstone presentation, and I hope you learned about FITE Club and why we found it very successful for our needs, and I hope that you can adapt it to yours.